Good evening, everyone. Firstly, I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of this land on which we stand, traditional owners from past, present, and future, and I would like to pay my respect to the elders. Firstly, I would like to thank the Brisbane youth for organising this very important event, and it is so wonderful to see that our young females, it has been mainly a female representation, who have been doing some fantastic work in organising this. Friends, families, brothers, sisters, thank you for attending tonight's vigil. It pains my heart every time we hear about an attack on people in every corner of Afghanistan. We are shocked. We are devastated. These are heinous, brutal crimes, but we are not surprised. We are not surprised that these attacks are happening. These are systematic attacks targeting mainly Hazaras. We also had an incident a couple of weeks before the Shahada event in Dasht Bakchi in Logar province, where 30 students were killed, and these were students sitting the Concord exam, an exam that students sit across Afghanistan before they go to university. And a few weeks after that, we had the brutal attack in Dasht Bakchi that killed over 80 students between the age of 10 and 15. If this attack happened in anywhere across the world or anywhere in the Western world, the world would be shocked. The media would be in outrage. The world would change. The campaigns would start against this brutal violence. And yet, again and again, these attacks continue to happen in a place called Afghanistan. And it is in the news for a few seconds, and the world tends to forget about it. It is as if the lives of those who live in Afghanistan are not as important or as valuable to people living in other countries. We've had war in Afghanistan going for over 4 decades. We've had the Western troops being killed in Afghanistan several times during the course of 20 years that they have been there. In the 20 years that the Americans and Australians and other European countries that have been in Afghanistan, what have they achieved? Is the situation in Afghanistan better than it was 20 years ago? Or is it better now? Nothing has changed since these Western troops have gone to Afghanistan. The whole point of Western folks going to Afghanistan is for freedom, it is for democracy, it is for peace, and it is protecting the vulnerable civilians and the vulnerable minorities that exist in Afghanistan. We have seen no progress. In fact, the attacks have got more brutal, the attacks are more heinous than before, and they are designed to kill as many vulnerable people as possible. We continue to see people in this country, members of parliament in this country, who stand up and marginalise and push a small minority of Australians in a corner. These MPs should be called out. Their actions are unacceptable. What is the whole point of us sending our troops to Afghanistan? It is for democracy, it is for the freedom of speech, it is for protecting minorities. It is pointless if we do that and we have MPs standing up in the parliament for hate speech. Hate speech, racism is never acceptable. It brings me to the point where we have so many people in this country who are on various forms of protection visas, and those who are waiting for family reunion, and those who are waiting for their partners, and those who are waiting for their citizenship. These attacks in Afghanistan continue to prove that Afghanistan is not safe for a lot of people, particularly Hazaras. And it is important that the Australian government prioritises those people who are on protection visa, who have been on protection visa for a very long time, and those who are awaiting family reunion, because it is unacceptable if they continue this long delay. I just want to thank you all again for coming here tonight. It shows our solidarity, it shows our support for our brothers and sisters that have lost their very precious life in Kabul, in Logar, and in the previous attacks across Afghanistan. And I thank you all for coming here. And please, can I encourage you that these gatherings, that people come together, is a sign of unity. It is a sign of solidarity, and it is standing against hatredism. It is standing against those who are seeking to increase violence and those who are seeking to increase disunity among people. Can I also encourage you all, because we live in a wonderful country, that you have the right to freedom of speech. You can write to your local members of parliament and tell them what is going on in Afghanistan. You also can donate to various charities that are helping people in Dashti-Barchi with the recent events. Can I also thank you all again for coming here tonight, for your show of solidarity and show of support. Thank you very much.